it's quite an interesting concept if you look at what the industry approaches to friction, right? It's about trying to remove friction. This is a concept that you'll hear many people talk about. Hey, we want to remove friction from the transaction. But if you think about friction, you can't remove it completely, right? It's at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of authentication, right? And so at the end of the day, there is always some sort of friction that, let's say you do a high risk transaction. So let's say there's a risk engine behind the scenes. If you do find that it's a high risk transaction, you will have to step up at that point. So there is always some sort of scenario where that might come into play. Now, an interesting thing, if you look at the user's journey, you can decide where that friction point is. You can move that around, but at the end of the day, you can never completely remove it, because let's say you go completely frictionless to say, all right, I'm going to let all transactions be frictionless, and if it's very high risk, I'm just going to decline it. Now, if I'm trying to do a card payment and this is the approach that you're using on frictionless, for example, then what would happen is I would try to do a checkout with my card and it's just going to be declined, and I wouldn't know why. So now I try again, it's going to be declined again. And what happens then? I have to phone into my bank, sit on the call center and wait for someone to help me, and then ask them why my card's being declined. Go through quite a whole, big process. So what's more frictionless? If I did a biometric authentication, for example, on that transaction, or having to go through that. And so I think that's something that sometimes we forget.